What does it take to survive in the most extreme climates on Earth? How does one navigate the uncharted, isolated expanses at the ends of our world? Imagine for a moment being surrounded by nothing but miles and miles of ice and snow. The air is so cold it takes your breath away. The wind is a constant, brutal force, and the landscape around you is a blinding white expanse. Now, imagine in these most punishing of conditions, pushing forward, one foot in front of the other, leading a team with a singular goal: to journey to the places where no one has set foot before. This is the story of Roald Amundsen, a man who did exactly that. Born in Norway in 1872, Amundsen's tale is one of extraordinary determination, meticulous planning, and audacious execution. His adventures took him to the extremes of the earth, and his story remains one of the most remarkable in the annals of exploration. Roald Amundsen was born into a family of shipowners and captains in the small town of Borge, Norway, on July 16, 1872. His family, the Amundsens, were renowned for their seafaring expertise, and Roald was expected to follow in their footsteps. Yet, even as a child, he was drawn not to the well-trodden sea lanes of Europe, but to the allure of the uncharted, the mysteries of the frozen north. As a young boy, Amundsen would sit by the fireplace, consumed by tales of the doomed Franklin expedition, which vanished while trying to chart a course through the Northwest Passage. Each tale was a spark that ignited his imagination, painting chilling stories of adventure and danger in the frozen wilderness. The stories became his dreams, and the dreams fueled a flame within him, a flame that would light his path for the rest of his life. Against his parents' wishes, Amundsen quit school at the age of 15. He was a stubborn child, and his heart was set on the sea. The icy waters and the wild winds called to him, promising a life of adventures that he could not resist. He was a quick learner, proving himself as adept at navigating the intricacies of ship handling as he was at understanding the whims of the weather and the sea. By the time he was 18, he had earned his mate's certificate, and just 4 years later he obtained his captain's certificate. Yet for Amundsen, captaining commercial vessels was not the end goal. His heart yearned for exploration, for the thrill of venturing into the unknown. His first taste of true exploration came when he joined the Belgian Antarctic expedition as the first mate on the Belgica. Commanded by the Belgian explorer Adrien de Herlache, the expedition aimed to explore the largely unknown Antarctic region. Yet fate had other plans. Trapped in the ice, the crew had to endure the Antarctic winter, marking the first time any expedition had done so. This unplanned turn of events proved a testing time for Amundsen. It was here, in the unforgiving grip of the Antarctic ice, that he observed and learned the survival tactics that would later become the cornerstone of his polar explorations. From the Belgica expedition, Amundsen learned many lessons. He observed how the crew reacted to the long Antarctic night, the psychological effects of the constant darkness, and the physical toll of the extreme cold. He saw the importance of maintaining morale in such harsh conditions, and the need for preparation and flexibility in the face of the unexpected. These lessons were etched deep into his mind, shaping him into the leader that he would become. With the experiences and lessons from the Belgica expedition fresh in his mind, Amundsen set his sights on the next challenge, the Northwest Passage. This treacherous sea route connected the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the Arctic archipelago of northern Canada, a route that had claimed many lives, including those of the Franklin expedition that inspired Amundsen as a child. Amundsen's preparation was exhaustive. He understood that every detail mattered: the right ship, the ideal crew, ample provisions, and most importantly, a clear strategy to counter the harsh Arctic environment. After scouring several shipyards, he found his match, a small, robust ship named the Yoa. Amundsen's crew was handpicked, each member chosen for their skills, resilience, and adaptability. The 7-man team comprised of expert sailors, hunters, a cook, and even a blacksmith. Unity and camaraderie were as crucial as their skills. On June 16, 1903, Yoa set sail from Oslo, embarking on a journey that would etch their names in history. The team navigated the labyrinth of ice and water, ever watchful of the hidden icebergs and treacherous weather. Each day was a battle against the elements, but under Amundsen's capable leadership, they pressed on. As winter approached, they anchored near King William Island, now part of Nunavut, Canada. The place, which they named Yoa Haven, became their home for the next 2 years. Here, they met Netsulik Inuit, who shared their invaluable knowledge of the Arctic, from hunting and fishing techniques to making warm clothing and building igloos. Amundsen, a firm believer in learning from the locals, absorbed every bit of information, an approach that vastly differed from the more traditional European methods. Living in the Arctic winters was a test of their resolve. The tasks were demanding: maintaining the ship, hunting for food, conducting scientific observations, and most importantly, keeping morale high. Amundsen's leadership style was inclusive, with every crew member's voice heard, their opinions valued. This democratic approach fostered a strong sense of unity and purpose, crucial for their survival. After 2 years trapped in ice, on August 17, 1905, they managed to free Yoa and resume their journey. Their resilience paid off when they reached Nome on Alaska's Pacific coast on July 30, 1906. They had successfully navigated the Northwest Passage, a monumental feat that had eluded explorers for centuries. Amundsen's meticulous planning, inclusive leadership, and adaptation to local survival techniques had triumphed, setting a new precedent in polar exploration. Fresh from his triumph in the Arctic, Amundsen now eyed the South. The South Pole, one of the last great geographical mysteries, was still untouched. Britain's Robert Falcon Scott was preparing an expedition to claim it for the British Empire. Yet Amundsen had other plans. He was determined that the Norwegian flag should be the first to fly over the South Pole. The journey began in secrecy. On June 3, 1910, Amundsen left Oslo aboard the Fram, a ship specifically designed to withstand ice pressure, originally used by Fridtjof Nansen on his North Pole attempt. Initially, the crew thought they were heading north. Only when they reached Madria did Amundsen reveal their true destination, the South Pole. The journey was treacherous. They faced heavy sea ice and fierce winds, but Amundsen's leadership and the crew's determination carried them through. After months of sailing, on June 14, 1911, they dropped anchor in the Bay of Whales, the southernmost point any ship had reached. The crew set to work, unloading supplies, setting up camp, and preparing for the overland journey. The daily routine was rigorous. Everyone had their tasks, from maintaining equipment and caring for the dogs to hunting for fresh meat. Amundsen's leadership philosophy was simple: everyone contributes, and everyone's contribution matters. They learned to adapt to their new environment. The experiences from their time in the Arctic were invaluable. They studied the migration patterns of the local wildlife and adapted their diet to include seal and penguin meat, which were rich in vitamin C, preventing scurvy. On October 20, 1911, they set off on their final push for the South Pole. The team consisted of 5 men, 4 sledges, and 52 dogs. Facing harsh conditions and challenging terrains, they pressed on. And finally, on December 14, 1911, they stood at the bottom of the world. They had reached the South Pole. The differences in Amundsen's and Scott's approaches were stark. While Scott's team struggled with the harsh conditions, Amundsen's team, armed with their Arctic experience, adapted to the Antarctic environment. Their use of dogs for transportation, their adapted diet, and their reliance on skis, all lessons learned from the Inuit, were key factors that contributed to their success. The jubilation of conquering the South Pole was short-lived. On their return home, Amundsen and his crew found themselves in the middle of a controversy. Critics argued that Amundsen's last-minute change of plans was deceitful and had potentially endangered Robert Falcon Scott's British team, who were unaware of the competition. However, the criticism did little to diminish Amundsen's achievement or his thirst for exploration. Over the next decade, Amundsen embarked on several other expeditions. He navigated the Northeast Passage, flying over the North Pole in an airship called the Norge, a feat that, once again, stirred controversy over its legitimacy. As the years went by, Amundsen's interest in aviation grew stronger. He recognized the potential of air travel for exploration and the significant advantages it offered over traditional sea voyages. He saw aircraft as the future of Arctic exploration, a belief that would shape his later years. In 1928, Amundsen found himself in the midst of a rescue mission. His former rival, Italian aviator Umberto Nobile, had crashed while flying over the North Pole in an airship called the Italia. Despite their past differences, Amundsen did not hesitate to come to Nobile's aid. On June 18, 1928, Amundsen, along with a 5-man crew, took off in the French Latham 47 flying boat from Tromsø, Norway, to join the rescue mission. The plane disappeared without a trace over the Barents Sea. Despite extensive search operations, no survivors were found. The explorer who had spent his whole life charting the uncharted had disappeared into the unknown. The news of Amundsen's disappearance sent shockwaves around the world. The man who had conquered the poles, who had charted a path through the inhospitable wilderness of ice and snow, was gone. His loss was a bitter blow to the world of exploration. Tributes poured in from around the globe. Countries hoisted their flags at half-mast, and explorers from all nations shared their respects. Despite the controversies that had surrounded his career, Amundsen was widely acknowledged as one of the greatest explorers of his time. What set Amundsen apart from his contemporaries was his unique approach to exploration. While many of his European counterparts believed in the power of technology and brute force, Amundsen understood the importance of learning from indigenous cultures and adapting to the environment. He respected and emulated the way of the Inuit, whose knowledge was honed by centuries of living in the harsh Arctic conditions. Amundsen's leadership style was another facet of his success. He led by example, sharing in the hardships and dangers of his journeys. He valued the input of every member of his team, fostering an environment of mutual respect and cooperation. His meticulous planning, combined with his ability to adapt to unexpected challenges, was a testament to his exceptional leadership. Roald Amundsen's legacy lives on. His exploratory achievements, his unquenchable spirit of adventure, and his respect for indigenous knowledge continue to inspire generations of explorers. His meticulous methods, his adaptability, and his relentless pursuit of his goals set the standard for modern exploratory science. Amundsen's life was a testament to the power of determination, planning, and adaptability. It was a life lived on the edge, pushing the boundaries of human endurance and knowledge. His disappearance in the icy waters of the Barents Sea marked the end of an era of exploration. But his legacy continues to inspire us, reminding us of the indomitable human spirit that drives us to explore the unknown. As we come to the end of our journey through Roald Amundsen's life, we are left with a portrait of a man who was not just an explorer, but a pioneer. A man who knew the importance of preparation, of learning from the world around him, and of pushing the limits of human endurance. Exploration is not just about discovering new lands or planting flags. It's about understanding our world and our place within it. It's about learning from those who came before us and using that knowledge to venture further than ever before. Amundsen's journey resonates today as we face new frontiers of exploration. From the depths of our oceans to the far reaches of our solar system, we are guided by the same spirit of discovery that drove Amundsen to the ends of the earth. His legacy serves as a guide for us all. His respect for indigenous knowledge reminds us that we have much to learn from those who have lived in harmony with their environment for generations. His innovative and adaptive approach teaches us that success often lies in thinking outside the box, in learning to adapt, and in being prepared for any eventuality. The life of Roald Amundsen is a testament to the human spirit, a testament to what we can achieve when we dare to dream and have the courage to pursue those dreams no matter the odds. As we continue to explore, to push our boundaries, and to learn from our world, let us remember the lessons that Amundsen taught us. Let us remember the spirit of exploration, the value of preparation, and the importance of respect for our environment and the cultures that inhabit it. For in doing so, we honor the legacy of this remarkable man and ensure that his spirit of exploration continues to inspire us for generations to come. As we bid farewell, remember the spirit of exploration is within us all. It's what drives us forward, what pushes us to ask questions, to seek answers, and to venture into the unknown. As Amundsen showed us, the unknown is not something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced, to be explored, and to be understood.